Okay, now I'm ready.
Cool beans. Alright, so, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what is hopefully...
Settling here.
what is hopefully the final session of this nightmare of a campaign. It genuinely was supposed to start... Like, the whole campaign started because we did 3 one-shots, and then we were going to do a 2-shot or a 3-shot. It turned into a 20-shot, so... But now it's finally gonna end, hopefully. When we last left off, Doom Guy had jumped up to shoot the monster in the face with a shotgun and ended up like slamming into its shoulder and kind of getting gooped up and stuck in the shoulder or somewhat, and he's now being grappled by the monster. The monster is just kind of standing in the middle of a giant field. There's a cloud of healing vapors to its behind and right, so it's facing south towards some of you guys. Jebby tried to stab it in the toe, but missed terribly. Let's see. Guy Dude, I don't even know where you are. You cast Exorcism on this creature, so you're just kind of standing nearby. By the way, Guy Dude, since you weren't here last time, what you missed was Jack and Dravis, or Glampario and Dravis, went all the way south to the capital of the human side, and basically just taunted the entire orc army of like 1,000-something orcs to come charging north, and they traveled for like an entire day, sprinting the entire way, and they brought all of the orcs up here to try to fight this thing so that you guys could cast Exorcism on the Turtle Island itself and have a chance of killing it by using the force of 2 whole armies. So now the human army and the orc army are fighting, and it's basically just a huge mess. There's orcs and humans and everyone, and yeah, it's just a mess. And that's basically the situation.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I think Glampario said he was running last I knew.
Yeah.
Dravis is no longer.
I ran to the docks.
Okay, you ran to the docks. Alright, interesting. So I'll just put you... Where are you trying to go at the docks?
Just where the
Hi,
boats
Hannah,
are.
or Cactus, whichever one you are. And hi, 5-cent nickel. Oh, the gods of Olympus have abandoned me. What? Alright. So, Glampario is running to the docks to try to find the nearest boat. What kind of boat are you looking for?
Preferably a big one to fit the party, just in case.
Okay, yeah, there are a couple boats that are like big enough to hold like 20-something people. If you'd like to try to prepare one of those and de-rope it from the port. If you'd like to get it ready for war. Yeah, you're a sailor, so you know how to do that kind of stuff. I'll go ahead and say you can begin doing that kind of stuff. I don't remember whose turn we left off on last time, so I'm just going to go ahead and start doing stuff for the armies. So the orc army is attempting to scale the outer wall of the defenses that you're in. And
oh, did you look up that warfare thing that I told you about?
I did, actually, and it wasn't as helpful as I would have liked it to be, unless I found the wrong one. It's very possible I found the wrong one. So the orcs are fighting the humans who are taking up defensive positions on top of the wall, and they're trying to climb the wall, but the humans are managing to keep them back for now. Humans are stabbing down with their spears and long swords, trying to keep the orcs at bay. Meanwhile, the orcs are trying to rain down arrows and javelins into the fortress that you guys are in, and the humans are within the walls of this fortified fort or whatever, and the giant monster is still in the center of it, kind of wreaking havoc on the party, which is the one thing you didn't want to have happen. I guess we'll just start from the top again. So, Doom Guy, it's your turn. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Charles Goodshow showed up out of nowhere and was like, "Hi, I'm here," and the goblin is kind of eyeing him as he's looking at the Eye of Truth, as though he's trying to figure out what to do. And they're kind of eyeing each other.
Okay.
Yep. What did you want to do, Doom Guy? You're currently kind of like getting gooped up by the monster and having trouble. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw once more?
Alright. Pull up the dice roller. Just give me 17.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're still grappled at this point. But you do manage to fight it off a little bit, but you're still just kind of immobilized and stuck. Is there anything you'd like to say, or I guess you can't speak because you're a silent protagonist. Is there anything you'd like to try to do?
Okay, so I'm just gonna pull something out of nowhere for a sec.
Oh,
you know
boy.
that shotgun I made? You know that shotgun I made the goblin make?
Yeah.
This month? That hook on the bottom? That's a grappling hook.
What? Okay.
I would like to try and use that, maybe pull myself out of it.
Okay, where are you gonna try to shoot this grappling hook to?
A wall.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Roll me just a straight dex check.
Alright. That's a total 20.
Okay. I will say that what happens is you're too stuck to completely free yourself, but what you do manage to do is you move your arm just enough to point the grappling hook at the wall, and you... Here, let me turn on the camera so I can show what I'm doing a little bit better. Didn't realize that it wasn't on before. That's my bad. Wait, it's still not working. Okay, you know...
Oh boy.
Oh well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you managed to turn your arm just enough, even while it's kind of stuck. But you managed to turn your arm in such a way where you can point the grappling hook at the nearest top of a building, and you shoot it, and it hooks onto the wall just in the right way, and then you activate it to begin pulling you towards it. But you're still stuck to the monster, so it basically just pulls the shoulder of the monster downward and behind it, and it stumbles and completely just falls over on its back and slams into the ground with a giant thud right beside Jebby. And it is...
Does it land on me?
No, it does not land on you, but it just rumbles the ground a little bit. And this rumbling of the ground caused by the smash begins to... Well, it causes a boom and a rumbling for like a small bit, but it doesn't fade away. It continues to rumble as though the Earth God is slowly waking up or something.
Didn't you say combat can only last for 8 turns now that the Earth God's healthy?
Next person's turn is Jebby.
He said it's not supposed to last more than 8 turns when the rumbling starts. Jebby would like to swing at its big toe again.
Specifically at its big toe, now that it's like flat on the ground in front of you, you're like, the big toe is the highest priority.
Yes, I'm still going after the big toe.
Alright, roll to hit. What are you swinging with, your sword?
I'm hitting with my sword double-handed.
Okay.
So it's 1d10 plus 4.
Okay.
Do I get any bonus to my attack with that? Oh, that would be plus strength, wouldn't it? For attack?
Yes.
Okay, 18.
18. Yeah, that hits. What would you roll for damage? Is that a d10? Oh, well, there goes my book.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I would like to activate Divine Smite.
Mm-hmm.
That allows me to roll 2d8 extra of radiant damage.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
I do 26 damage.
Okay.
And that's one of my splash slots used up.
Your splash slots, I love those.
Yes, my splash slots.
Alright, sure. Yeah, so you slice its toe completely off, and it just kind of, like, it's a big boulder of a toe that's probably as big as, like, your entire torso, and it just kind of glubs into, like, disgusting goo and flattens out on the ground like a puddle of expanding slime, and it's no longer a threat. And the monster goes "Roar!" and kind of like looks down.
I go, yeah, eat!
Alright, it's Glampario's turn now. who's still doing boat stuff, I assume.
Hmm.
Do you want to do anything different, or do you want to just say you're still dealing with the boat for now?
I hope there's a way to like get the word out to other members of the party to like head to the boat if you want to live.
You could scream at him.
Is he close enough for us to hear?
No, but I can do it anyway.
I'll say you should probably go find them if you want to let him know. Okay.
And get back near that monster again? No thanks.
So you're not gonna tell him?
No.
Okay.
They can just roll gamers' intuition.
Nah.
Okay. I'm having trouble figuring out whose turn it is next.
Do you just want us to re-roll initiative?
No, because I have the initiatives from last time. Guy dude, if you'd like to roll an initiative, you can roll one of yourself. Because I rolled one for you, but if you would like a different one, then that's fine.
That's fine. I'll just stick with whatever you rolled.
Okay. My handwriting is really bad.
Huh?
I said my handwriting is really bad. Alright, Guy dude, it is your turn now.
Okay. I guess I'll try to hit it in the head or something.
Okay,
With
you want
my-
to try to run up to the big monster thing? Just so
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's 20 feet tall and huge, terrifying, made of slime, basically. Same as the other ones you've
Okay.
fought.
How far away am I?
You are standing kind of where Jebby was, right near him. So you were at the
Gotcha.
monster's feet, and you can run 20 feet to get to its head if you'd like to try to slice it in the head.
Yeah, let's do that. Trying to remember what everything is now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay, got it.
Sounds good.
Uh,
So you run up to it and you try to stab it in the head or slice it in the head or something. Roll to hit.
roll a hit. Okay. And that is D20 plus the
Yeah, plus the modifier.
proficiency and strength.
If
Yeah.
you're doing melee, it's plus strength, yes.
Just plus strength?
Well,
Yeah.
plus proficiency and strength, yes.
Okay. That's right. Nope. Stop it. Sorry.
Are you sick, or is that just the phone?
Dirty 20.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that definitely hits. What's the damage on that?
Damage 1d10 plus 5.
Cool, roll with it.
Okay. 17.
Nice. Okay. Making progress on killing it. Good job. So you slice it in the head. It kind of reforms after your blade leaves its face. You got probably like halfway through the center of its head, and then when you pull your blade back out, it reforms. But it still looks incredibly angry. Let me see what it's doing at this point. Doo-doo.
Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ray power.
Blah 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 blah. Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Well, that's a problem, but probably fine. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Huh.
Pray tell, what is your issue?
Nothing, just reading the notes on something. So that should be fine. Now it is the turn of Charles Goodshow. And
Oh no.
Charles Goodshow is looking at, I forget what he was saying before. Yelling at Jebby or whatever for trying to kill him. But Charles Goodshow is going to attempt to walk up to the eye of the the eye of the pool of wisdom. Sorry, I forgot which one was which. And he's gonna try to put his hand on it, but as he does, he's going to look into it by accident and become transfixed on what he sees and just kind of stare for a moment, eyes wide, and just kind of looking not sure what he's seeing.
Are we going
And
to
he's
do
just
madness for him?
no, he's just frozen. I mean, you don't get to know what happens to him. I do the rolls behind the scenes, so.
I can give you the list that I was using.
Oh, don't worry, I have a list.
Okay.
Well, you can send it to me if you'd like. I can't promise
Just
I'll
talk
use
to
it though. Okay. Yeah, so that's his turn, and the goblin is gonna be like, "What are you doing, you crazy person?" and is gonna try to like pull on the dude to stop him from touching the eye, but he's just like transfixed, not able to be aware of what's happening to him as the goblin's kind of shaking him and trying to get him to stop what he's doing. So that's his turn. That's his turn. I don't even care about him. Thank you. And I'm just gonna cross that off. Dravis is somewhere. Chiron is somewhere, but I can't be bothered to keep track of them because they're not here. Who else is not here that I don't need to worry about? Too many people. Alright, that's fine. So Chiron and Dravis are just mounting the wall and trying to help fight against the orcs at this point. They're hanging out over to the north side, the northeast side, fighting against the orcs that are trying to climb up the wall. And with that, it's the orcs and humans' turn to do army stuff. The orcs begin to mount the wall and overcome the humans on top of the wall, climbing up and breaking through the defenses because the human army was not only exhausted from running for so long, but also weakened from the plague, and there are a few number of them in general. So the orcs are mounting the wall, climbing over it, breaking through the defenses, throwing humans off the wall, and slicing them with long swords. Wait, actually, great axes, sorry, my bad. And just causing chaos as they're breaking through the defenses, and they literally rip off, using their combined strength, they rip the portcullis off of the main gate, so they basically just rip open the way into the fortress, and orcs begin pouring in to the main area.
Fun.
Yeah. Now it's Doomguy's turn again, and...
Do us a good, Doom Guy.
At this point, you notice that the horrible monstrosity or whatever that was kind of like collapsing around you and completely encasing you in goo, seems to be getting smaller. Like the giant monster seems to be getting smaller as more and more of this ooze kind of seeps into your flesh. Roll one final wisdom save. Doom Guy.
One final what? Sorry?
Wisdom save.
Don't tell him it's final.
Well, it's final one way or the other.
Would a nat 20 go against what you planned?
No, a nat 20 would choose one of the two outcomes. So you feel that it's like kind of trying to take control of you and like absorb into your flesh, and you're just like, no, and you yank out with a great pull, and you basically just like backflip out of the goo that you were stuck in, and the monster returns back to normal side and lets out an ear-piercing shriek. This ear-piercing shriek again sounds like it's in Draconic, and who understands Draconic? Only Guy Dude, or does anyone else understand it at this point?
Let me double check. No.
Okay, so yeah, it only is audible by or like understandable by Guy Dude. Hold on a sec. I need to read this. Oh gosh. Well, that's fun. All right, let's see how this goes.
He has to roll to know what he says.
Well, I need to roll to know how much damage it is. Okay. So, Okay, I'm gonna say that it does 11 damage to all 3 of you. So that would be
Good.
Doom Guy, Guy Dude, and Jub Jubby. Each take 11 damage as this monster just kind of lets out an ear-piercing shriek and is like mumbling angrily in your minds.
Okay, Slayer is now at 2 health.
Oh gosh! And that's the monster's turn. Now it is Jeb Jebby's turn.
Alright. So, Jib Jibby would like to take his 20
Oh, I
feet
forgot to
walk.
mention also, as this is happening, the rumbling has last turn began like faintly. It was still rumbling as though like the rumbling from the monster hitting the ground was lasting longer than it should have. Now the rumbling is getting even stronger, jostling people up and down and like moving small pebbles off the ground, bumping up and down as they're going. It's beginning to get a bit uncomfortable on your knees.
As I'm making my 20-foot tread to get to his head, I yell out to everyone, "We must finish this before the earth gods become angry."
Mm-hmm.
And so when I reach the monster's head, I would like to attack it.
Mm-hmm.
My roll is a 18 plus 4, so 22.
22. Okay, yeah, sure. And you're attacking its head?
Yep, I'm attacking with a 1d4. Plus, I'm going to use another spell slot
Mm-hmm.
to use my Divine Smite again, so it's 1d4 plus 2d8.
Yeah, okay. That hits with a 22. Roll for damage.
Yep, I'm doing it right now. That's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24.
Wow. Nice.
And that's another spell slot. I have one last spell slot to use.
Cool. More damage than I expected you guys to be able to do.
And with my
Bonus action?
bonus action, I would like to cast Shield of Faith on Guy Dude.
Sure.
So his AC will go up to by 2.
Cool. So mark that down, guy dude.
That's all my slots.
Cool. It's Glumporio's turn. Are you just still chilling at the boats? Not gonna tell anyone? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I will say that you can probably see, Chiron and, Dravis on top of the wall over to your left, I guess, if you're looking at the battle. To your left, they're on top of the main wall outside fighting orcs off. So you could probably yell to them if you wanted to, but you wouldn't be able to yell to everyone else.
Maybe I can yell at them.
Okay, yeah, roll for strength if you want to yell at them.
Must be one manly yell.
Radius
One
getting
manly.
22.
good. That was a what total?
He said 22.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. Yeah, they definitely hear you. Well, let me roll their perception. Yeah, they can hear you. And they kind of turn distracted and looking at you, and they're like, "What? What did you yell to them exactly, actually, before they say what?"
Oh, you gotta type that out.
Is he typing out what he said?
I guess that's what he's doing. Let me check real quick.
Wait. Wait, I didn't hear anything. You cut out.
Oh, what did Glumporio say?
What did Compario say, Jack?
Tell everyone to get their butts over here if they want to live.
Okay. Get to the chopper if you want to live. Yeah.
Two quotes combined.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they hear this and they're like, okay, we're a little busy, but sure, and they begin trying to fight their way closer to you on their way. But they don't seem to understand what you're indicating. Meanwhile, whose turn is it now? It is Guy Dude's turn again, I believe.
I guess it's still on the ground.
Yeah, it's still on the ground for now, but it seems like it's about to lurch back up.
Okay, I'll hit in the head again then.
Okie doke. Roll for her hitting.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, 15.
What are you swinging exactly?
Halberd.
Okay. You swing down your halberd in an attempt to hit it in the head, but it like kind of morphs beneath your blade and dodges it, so it goes just above its head as it begins rising from the ground. Yeah, so that does not hit. Would you like to use your movement speed or bonus action?
I guess I'll get.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I guess I'll. What's a bonus action? What bonus action do I get?
Do you have Shield of Faith?
I do.
Can you cast it on someone? That's a bonus
Oh wait,
action.
do I have Shield of Faith? Hold on. That's a good point.
I think paladins have every spell, just they don't get them until they level up.
Right.
That's how paladins work.
Also,
I don't have it on my list of spells, and
would
So
you
you don't have it prepared. Okay.
I don't.
Would you say that each of you are standing within 5 feet of this creature?
Well, I'm next to its head, and I believe my blade is a 5-foot requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check. Long sword. Yeah, I'm within 5 feet.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily within 5 feet. I can be. Mine has a 10-foot reach.
Okay. So in that case, Jebby, you take 6 damage, just from like the acidity and disgusting vapor that's coming off of this slimy mess of a creature. Being too close to it for a round or two can cause this just kind of withering effect on your soul.
Wow.
Yeah,
now that Jebby knows that.
Yeah, you could yell to Guy Dude to watch out as well if you'd like to let him know about this.
I'll do it on my turn.
Okay. So Guy Dude just has his turn. Now it's Charles Goodshow and the Goblin are still kind of wrestling, except Charles Goodshow is completely out of it. Let me just take a moment. Whew. Maybe I will use your chart after all.
Probably best. So you don't have to be overwhelmed.
Oh wow, okay, that's interesting. So after... Yeah, I'll just leave that alone for a moment. I was trying to roll for Charles Goodshow to see what he saw in the eye, or Pool of Wisdom, my bad. The goblin is beginning to like drag him away from the Pool of Wisdom a little bit because he's not resisting very well. He's still just staring off into space as the goblin tries to drag him and move him around. Meanwhile, the orcs and the humans have had their line get broken. They are just falling apart, and the orcs are rushing in farther and farther, and the humans are basically just fleeing. And the giant monster, because of this chaos that he sees charging into the area, he's just enraged by all the chaos that's happening, and it uses its movement speed to stand up, and then it's incredibly fast, so it just like it basically turns from a humanoid standing creature and then turns into a pool of slime sliding across the ground, and then reforms into another humanoid creature again, about 60 feet away from you guys. and immediately begins just swinging its arms and like stabbing into the orcs and humans that happen to be directly south of you. Let me take a look and see how much that does. So as it like extends its arms, and its fingers each extend, forming into like jagged points, almost like spears, and they stab into multiple targets at a time. And orcs and humans immediately just fall with like holes in their chests and what looks like acid dripping from their rib cages as they fall, holding their wounds in pain. And this monster is just kind of like going ham, roaring and swinging at all these creatures. So that's that. It is now 60 feet away from you, to the south. By the way, the healing vapors is still to the north of you if you guys would like to get into that cloud and retrieve any health. Whose turn is it now? Okay, so the orcs are winning, humans are there, blah blah blah. Charles Goodshow is useless. Jebby's doing his thing. Okay, so it's Doomguy's turn again.
Okay, so you said the slime got smaller while I was still in there?
It got smaller when some of the slime was being absorbed into you, but you managed to like force it back out of you, and the creature is now back to its original size. However, it's slightly smaller than it was now that it's been damaged a bunch. So it's probably only about 15 feet tall at this point, but it's still just kind of swinging its arms like a Hulk smash or something and bashing enemies side to side.
Hulk smash!
Mm-hmm. Also, the rumbling now increases too. It's like a risk of knocking you off balance and rumbling the foundations of buildings and violently whipping what few trees there are in this area around. Have everyone roll me a dex check, or dex save, sorry.
Dex save.
What is my dexterity?
That's a 16 for Doomslayer.
That's a 4.
Ooh. Yeah, Jebby immediately like falls to his knees or his butt, whatever you prefer.
My butt. My butt. It hurts.
It's so
Would it
fun.
really matter for Glompario since he's in the water?
Gompario is he on the boat itself?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Gompario doesn't need to make the check. He's on the water, so it might be a bit rocky, but I mean, you just need sea legs for that. Yeah, so
I think I got a 0.
a 0 total?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my lord.
That's impressive. Yeah, you immediately fall too. What did you... I assume it wasn't a crit fail, right?
No, I rolled a 3 with a -3 bonus.
Oh, ow.
Oh lord.
Yeah, you immediately fall and you take 1 point of damage just from hitting your head on the ground.
Wow.
F's in the chat.
F's in the chat. F's in the chat.
Did I... So what was Doom Guy gonna do? I thought it was his turn.
Wait. If I just jump smack into the monster, will all the slime go into me, or do I have to test it for myself?
You want to slam into it again?
Yeah.
He's
Just
one
absorb all of
maniac.
it. Absorb all of it, jump into the volcano. Simple as that.
Oh.
That is interesting.
You can do what you want, man.
In the words of McGordon, change the process, change the outcome. Let's do it.
Alright, it is 60 feet away from you. What's your movement speed? Actually, it might be more like 50-ish feet away from you, because you got kind of thrown backwards.
Speed 30?
Yeah, 30 is the standard, so if you're not sure, just go with 30.
Okay.
So you can move 30 feet closer to it at this point. It is facing the other direction right now, so it cannot see you directly. Yeah. Alright, so you're trying to use your movement speed to go that far. Roll me another dex check to keep your balance as you're going.
Would fail.
Crit fail. Okay. I'll say that you immediately trip and just kind of slide and get bounced along like you're some kind of rolling.
Bouncy ball.
Yeah, just like a rolling bowling ball as you're going, and you kind of only go about 10 feet or maybe 20 if you're lucky as you get bounced around on the ground, and you slide to a humiliating stop on the rumbling ground. We can just be generous and say that you made it 20 feet. So you're now 30 feet away from the creature. Now it is Jeb's turn once more.
Jebby remembers the mist and decides that he wants to go and
Yeah, you
make
can
his
see it.
way over to the mist.
Okay.
How far is it from me? Do I have to use my full movement speed?
It's probably maybe 60 feet away from you or something. So yeah, you would
I have to
take
use
a
full
turn or
movement
two.
speed.
Yeah, you can actually dash and make it there in one. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah. I'd like to dash. Do I have disadvantage on my dex roll then?
No, I'll say it won't change the dex roll because walking versus moving normally, it's still just as hard to get across the rumbling ground.
Okay. So I made a 17. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's enough. So you managed to keep your footing as you're going across.
All right. So I make it all the way because I dashed. What happens?
So as you enter the mist and begin breathing it in, you immediately feel yourself being like healed for a little bit. So you regain 3 hit points at this point, and that will continue as time goes on. The more you stay in this cloud. And also, you're probably within range to hear Glompario yell at you, and he can probably see you at this point.
Okay.
Because the cloud is not, like, completely opaque. It's just, like, foggy, kind of.
Uh-huh.
So Glompario, it's your turn now, if you'd like to yell at him or say anything to him.
Yeah, I'll yell at him if you get over here if he wants to survive.
What's that? It's kind of loud over here. The ground's rumbling.
You can yell again if
I
you'd
said, get over here if you want to live.
What's your granny cooking?
Oh my gosh.
Oops.
All right, fine, be like that.
Be like what?
Oh my god, get over here if you want to live.
Oh, you got a boat for us?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right over.
All right, cool.
All right. So
Deaf piece of crap.
you're more deaf than Glompario, the one who's actually deaf.
But you also got to remember, ground rumbling gets pretty loud too.
True, there are a bunch of like boulders beside you that are just kind of going boom, 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 slamming on the ground up and down. So Guy Dude, as you're standing there, watching Jebby run ahead and seeing the monster go behind you, and Doom Guy, I assume, you see the goblin kind of dragging Charles Goodshow off to the side, and Charles Goodshow snaps out of whatever stupor he was in, and he goes, oh, man, if I wasn't already crazy, that would have been crazy.
If I wasn't already crazy, that would have been great.
Yeah, and he seems terrified of what he just saw, and he seems hesitant to go back towards the thing that he just was spooked by. However, he does seem like he's wanting to do his original plan, which you're not really sure what it was, but we all know what it was, because why wouldn't it be? So he's like, well, I still want to get myself a new Volcasaur. And the goblin's like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Just let the Earth God awaken and everything will be fine. It'll solve all our problems. What would you like to do, Doom or Guy Dude?
Where am I in relation to the thing now?
You, in relation to the Pool of Wisdom, you mean?
No,
the monster? You are 60 feet away from it, to the north of it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my
Well,
man,
it's real
still
far away.
fighting.
Yeah, you could dash to get to it in one turn if you wanted to, but the ground is rumbling, so keep that in
I
mind.
got you. Probably not the best idea for me. Oh. Do I know about the healing mist thing?
Yeah, you can see it from where you are, and you definitely were there when it was cast, so you know what it is and what it does.
Okay, well, I will run over to that then, or dash over to that.
Okie doke. So you run over and join Jeb Jebby. Roll a dex check to see if you can make it there.
Ooh, a 15.
Nice, yeah, that's good enough. You make it there, and you stop beside Jeb Jebby, panting. Jeb Jebby, do you want to tell him what Glampario said?
So Glampario just yelled at me about his grandmother, and also he got a ship for us.
Oh, so we can get off of this island?
Yeah, I'm thinking we can't handle that big old monster.
What about the rest of the people living on the island, though?
Well,
They can handle it. They'll be fine.
I can see if Dravis can lead our people over to the ships. But really, I see a really bad glint in the eyes of Good Show over there.
Uh-oh. That can't be good.
A really bad glint. It's a good way to put it.
Well, I guess if we can get all the people onto the boats, then that probably is the best option.
Hopefully.
Okay, if you haven't already fallen over by now, you're probably very likely to fall over because the rumbling is getting even worse. It's even harder to stay standing. Everyone roll me another dex save.
Yikes. These are the best for me. Ooh, I got a 10.
Ooh, nice, you still fall over. Oh, I forgot you had fallen over before. I should have reduced your movement speed, but that's fine, it's whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 18.
Nice,
20.
yeah, you're fine, Doom Guy.
Dirty
And
20.
Clumpar, you don't need to check. Dirty 20, yeah, you stay up, Jeb Jebby. Okay, so that was Guy Dude's turn, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Surprisingly, the humans and orcs still seem to be standing, or some of them do at least. The majority of them are falling down, but there are quite a few of them that are still managing to stay up and keep fighting, tooth and nail. And, but the humans seem to be hesitant to continue fighting, as do the orcs. Meanwhile, the monster is just like plowing through them left and right, just walking forward and just slamming them side to side as he goes. And yeah, it's not going too well for the people he hits. Every time he hits one, they just like slam into a wall and they stop moving.
Their movement speed is reduced to 0?
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to
As well as your
think.
health.
Yeah, exactly. Their health is probably reduced to more than 0 or less than 0.
Less than 0, sheesh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough what he's doing to them. You're lucky that he didn't end up using one of those on you. I'm really not sure what else to say at this point, so I'll just be like, alright, Doom Guy's turn again. The monster is kind of going forward away from you as time is going on, but you are 30 feet away from it last we left off, so what would you like to do?
To heck with, I'm grappling to it.
Okay. Yeah, roll
like,
dex.
Ground rumbling objects to the idea of walking.
Yeah, the ground doesn't like it. So, what are you doing? You're roll me a dex. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, roll
Rolling
dex.
19.
Okay, yeah. So you stab, or like you shoot your grappling hook and it stabs directly into the creature's back. I'll say that it does some damage too. And it barely feels it, to be honest. So it just continues with what it's doing, not even focusing on what just happened to its back. But it's enough to, it holds well enough for you to just fly across the ground without even needing to touch the ground. Basically, you're just vroom like a hook shot, and you slam into the creature's back. Are you intending to do your plan of sticking to it and absorbing it or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you just slam, whack, as though you're a cartoon character. You slam all limbs splayed out into the creature's back, and it seems a little bit confused, and it's like, and it's like turning to try to see behind it to see you, but it can't really get a good look at you. It just knows that you're there.
Can I start default dancing?
Sure.
While I'm inside there.
Okay, yeah, sure. You're not in the creature yet. You're just stuck to its back. But yeah, you can do what you can if you'd like. Roll strength.
Just to emote.
I mean, you're pretty well stuck to this like wall of rat trap super glue, so.
All right. Okay, 18.
Okay, yeah, you managed to blah 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 blah. Okay. So that's Doomguy's turn. Jebby, your turn.
Okay. So, Jebby, is it possible for me to grab Guy Dude and run with him to the ship?
Yeah, you mean because he's so bad at dex? You can try it. I'll give you disadvantage on the dex check to run, though.
Alright, that's fine. Alright.
And at this point, you do need to make 2 dex checks to get across the ground instead of just 1. So that would be...
So I need 3?
Yeah, just the worst of 3 rolls, I guess.
That's odd. I've never heard of that before. The worst of 3 rolls is a 16.
Wow, impressive. Yeah, so you roll strength to pick up Guy Dude to begin with.
Okay. Strength is my best stat.
Watch him crit fail.
19, 20... Wait, 3, 4, 21.
Are you okay with this, Guy Dude, or are you just...
Sure.
Okay. So you're just on the ground, and then Guy Dude, or Joey's like, here, I got you, fam, and he just lifts you up above his head and starts running towards the boat. Just like lifting you above his head as he goes, and he somehow keeps his footing on this extremely rumbly ground as he's going. And
Jebby's used to the rumbles.
That's true, he is. And you guys make it to the dock, or to the way to get onto the boat, I guess. There's probably like a wooden platform that's connected from the stone side of the port to the actual ship itself, and it's going up and down as the ground is rumbling and squeaking horribly as it's doing so. So you guys can board the ship if you'd like to, and then you will no longer need to make dex checks. So is everyone just going to fall over and die? Very, very likely, say Trey. Let me see. So whose turn is it now? It is Glumpario's turn. So Glompario, you see these guys jumping onto your ship. What are you thinking about that?
What is happening so far in the battlefield?
Well, the Earth Gods are awakening, and so everybody's just falling all over the place. The big monster thing is fighting the armies, and the orcs are slaughtering everything they come across.
Meanwhile, you just haha.
That's funny.
You see Dravis and Dravis and Chiron kind of stumbling their way, trying to get towards the ship. They're probably about 20 feet away from you, but they just can't manage to keep their footing as they're going. So they're trying to get close to you, but they're just like, ah! and having a rough time. Would you guys like to help them or just kind of watch them suffer?
I'm gonna watch him suffer.
Alright.
Oh, no, I gotta help him. Jeez.
So,
I mean, I guess I'll go help him.
okay. Yeah, you can do that if you want to. Once it's your turn, actually, we don't really need to worry about that because you can't see that anymore. So let's just say you guys are chilling out in the boat, and you can help those guys if you'd like to. Guy dude, if you want to go out and help them, that'll be a dex roll to get to them.
Okay.
Actually, 2 dex rolls. Sorry.
Oh. So worst of 2?
Well, no, it'll be 2 dex rolls to get out there. Like one dex roll and then another dex roll.
The first one's an 11 and the second one's a 10. I don't know.
So you go out there and you just start kind of stumbling around the same as them.
Yikes.
Yeah, you're having trouble keeping your footing. You make it about 10 feet and they're about 5 feet away from you as they're kind of stumbling forward, but you just both end up on your knees and you're like, oh hi, right beside each other.
Oh hi, how are you? Great day we're having, aren't we?
Since you guys aren't really in the combat at this point, I'll say that you don't need to follow a specific order. So if you'd like to try to help these guys out, what would you like to do, guy dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna help him.
You want to help him, Glompario?
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
At this point, I better just pick him up and carry him onto the boat.
Not like throw him a rope or anything, or want to go out there and carry him?
Wait, actually, maybe do I have a rope? I have a...
If you
I have 50 feet of silk rope. Would that work?
Silk rope? How'd you get silk rope?
I have no idea. It just showed up in my inventory.
What? It probably is supposed to be hempen rope, but I mean, silk works. So
why the heck do I have a rocket launcher in here?
What did you do to your character sheet?
I swear I put that in Doomslayer's inventory. Why is it here?
Alright, so for some reason, you just have silk rope now. That's fine. Why not? I don't care. So you you just throw this like beautiful red silk rope to the 3 of them. Roll me dex.
Alright. Nat 20.
Okay, wow, sure, yeah. So you like hit them directly in the face with the coil of rope, and they're able to grab that and use that as like a kind of a tug of war thing to ground themselves as they're trying to pull themselves along closer to the boat. Guy dude, roll me dex as you're trying to get across the ground. Only 1 this time.
Okay. 15.
Nice, okay. And I'll roll for the other 2 crazy people. One of them still manages to do badly. So, I'll say that Chiron's dex is not so good. So he's just like, and still manages to fall, slipping on the pile of rocks that he was trying to get over. Dravis is like, okay, you're an idiot, and he just keeps on going, and he makes it to the boat, leaving Chiron behind. And Guy Dude, you also are able to move if you'd like to keep going, or if you'd like to wait and help Chiron, or you could just let Chiron get pulled in a bit.
Oh, so he's got the rope on him?
Not on him, but he's holding on to it.
Oh, he's holding on to it? Okay, I'll just keep going then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you both make it back to the boat, and then Chiron is flailing, still trying to keep his footing. Gompari, would you just like to pull him? Just like slide him across the ground? Or slide him across the jumping, rumbling ground?
Right. Guy, do help me!
Yep.
Alright,
Okay.
Roll strength with advantage.
Wait, no, Jebby, help me!
Oh.
Alright.
I'm a genius.
Grab onto the rope.
And do nothing.
I'll help you pull.
I'm holding it.
I'm holding it.
I
What do
have
you
got
want me to
the rope. So what was the roll?
19.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you pull the rope really hard, and the Chiron just kind of flies off the ground and lands directly in the boat. And you guys are now all in the boat, and ground is not rumbling. Your legs feel like jelly from all the rumbling, but you feel like you're fine now, and the boat's just kind of rocking a little bit in the waves that are being sent out by the island.
Rock the boat, come on.
Right, now can I pour out beer or something?
Can you pour out your hair? What?
A beer.
Yeah, you can pop out a cold one with the boys if you want to. But let's head back to
sure.
let's pop out back to Doomslayer a little bit, who's actually in the thick of it. So Doomslayer, you're stuck on the back of this monster that's like plowing through people, and now it's like trying to reach the part on its back that it just can't manage to scratch, and it's kind of annoyed at you. So it kind of reaches one hand down, pointing at you like it's about to cast a spell or something, and out of the palm of its hand, there is just like a spray of like acid and poison that flies out of its hand, and let me see here.
Can I shoot it before it does anything?
You can
The hand.
You can. I'll say not actually, because you're kind of stuck, and this is its turn. Let me just look up the stats for this real quick. Wish I knew the stats of things off the top of my head, but I don't because I'm a noob.
Noob.
So a puff of like noxious yellow gas flies out of the creature's palm, and you have to roll a con save.
Constitution save. Total 22.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. You're
just watch me get stronger. From it.
Your gas mask or your helmet or whatever is so good quality that it just blocks out all of the gas, and you're just like, you think this scares me? I'm fine. And you take no damage.
The refreshing power of Febreze.
The refreshing power of Febreze. Sure. Alright, so now it is your turn, and you can do something if you would like. By the way, humans and orcs have begun to like kind of join forces a little bit, seeing that the monster is like just indiscriminately blasting through humans and orcs alike. Most of them are just fleeing in terror, but the ones who are far enough away are trying to throw javelins and other weapons at it, causing it to like become a pincushion of like javelins and spears getting stabbed into it. Roll me a dex save to avoid getting stabbed by a couple of these.
This is slide for death, seeing as I'm on 2 health.
Oh gosh.
Okay, that's a total 19.
Yeah, you're fine. So what would you like to do?
Can I stick my shotgun out and just shoot the hand that's tried to spray me?
Yeah, sure. The dex roll.
Alright.
My boomstick.
Alright, 17. I'm getting good rolls so far.
Nice. Yeah, okay. 17 you said?
Yeah.
You shoot directly at the hand, but it just like dissolves and reforms again in this exact same spot, as though it dodged all of your bullets without actually getting hit. It kind of expected this, apparently.
Just look down. I look down in disappointment after doing that.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Aww.
Okay, so your plan is to absorb the creature? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, the rumbling is now so extreme, it hurts to be thrown up and down on the ground. Buildings are beginning to crumble around you guys, so the fallen forges and the walls that are surrounding this area, all of them are just kind of like rumbling and having stones like wrenched from their foundations, and they're kind of collapsing in big heaps. All the rocks being torn and broken apart, and trees are beginning to creak and groan in the violent shaking, and it's just kind of a mess. All the orcs and humans are basically unable to fight at this point. They're just like falling on the ground and holding on for dear life. Meanwhile, the monster is still just like slamming them side to side out of the way like they're playthings. What did you say?
If this fight doesn't kill all of humans and orcs, I don't know what will.
I don't know. But you hear from the back of your, like, far behind you, you hear Charles Goodshow go, "This is what I was born to do!" And the goblin's, like, yelling at him, "Stop! What are you doing, you crazy person?" And they're fighting in the background. What would you like to do now, Doom Guy?
Like, can I aim at Goodshow?
He is 60 feet behind you, and you're kind of like stuck with your face against the back of a giant creature that you're stuck to for some reason.
Alright, never mind then.
Yeah, that would be incredibly hard unless you wanted to shoot with like triple disadvantage. Just a net, like a gamer's intuition kind of shot.
Yeah, I'll just shoot the monster and just straight ahead.
Just like directly ahead of you in the small of its back.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. While you're kind of stuck there. Roll to hit.
All right. 8. But I'm at point blank range, so like. Not
sure. I'll say that you have trouble getting your arm into the right position because you're so stuck to it at this point. Also, do remember the whole taking damage when you're too close to it for too long thing. So, yeah, I don't know how much your like space marine armor can protect against that. We'll see how it goes. Let me just check this real quick. Wow. Okay. You take 1 damage. I assume you're now at 1 HP?
Yeah.
Oh boy. But you're still alive somehow. Alright, so the creature, now that all the other humans and orcs have just kind of collapsed on the ground, like, "Oh, please stop," and they're like holding up their hands and trying to back away along the rumbling ground that's like damaging them as they're trying to back away. By the way, you're not really feeling the effects of the ground rumbling because you're on the back of this creature, and this creature's feet are kind of like splish splash, going up and down and absorbing the impact. So you're just kind of like remaining in the exact same spot as though you're, you know those things that like stabilize cameras for like when you're holding a camera and you're jiggling up. Exactly. Yeah. It's basically acting as a shock absorber. So you're remaining in the exact same spot while this creature is like going then the creature kind of like finally reaches a hand around and kind of like slaps you and begins like you're just completely coated in slime at this point. You're completely surrounded on all sides by the slime of the creature, like you wanted, and it begins like absorbing into you again, like you were trying to do before. Roll me a wisdom saving throw. You can choose to fail if you'd like to have the creature be absorbed into you.
Yeah, I'll fail. If I die, then I can just throw away this character.
Well, I thought you said that Doomslayer always respawns and remembers what happened to him. So
yeah,
you never know.
So save for another game.
So you choose to fail?
Yeah.
Okay, so you choose to fail as this creature is like absorbing into you, and you're just like, yeah, bring it on, as you feel like your body being like corrupted and swarmed by this horrible, disgusting goo that's like seeping into your skin, and it feels like you're beginning to lose control over your limbs and your everything as you're kind of being possessed by this creature basically. And it eventually slowly like shrinks down the entire mass of this giant slimy monster, and it is absorbed into your suit of armor. The ground begins to stop rumbling during this, by the way, because no one's really fighting at this point. And even though the buildings and everything was collapsing and the world is completely in turmoil, the ground is still begins to stop rumbling quite as extremely. From the dock, or from the boat, all three of you just kind of see the land like about to reach its breaking point, like bedrock about to snap in half and stuff, and then like it slowly starts to recede a little bit. That's all you know. Meanwhile, Doom Guy is basically the entire monster just like absorbs into you, and let me see here. So yeah, you're no longer in control of you. You feel the voice of the creature again in your mind, or actually you hadn't experienced that before. So you feel the silky dark voice of this creature in your mind, whispering to you in Draconic things that you don't understand, and it feels like you're now a passenger in your own body. Like you don't even know what's happening as your body is doing things, and you're just kind of stuck in the back of your mind, not able to control yourself anymore. As you see your arms, you look down at your hands, and you're like, interesting. And you pick up your shotgun, and you just start shooting orcs again. And the rumbling begins to get stronger again as you begin.
God dang it.
Yeah, as you begin just like start doing crazy things. If you'd like, I will let you make a wisdom check with disadvantage to try to gain some control of yourself back, and you can fight with the creature of what you want to do.
All right. Please be good. Okay, nat 20.
Not 20?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Thank
well,
you.
that's good. Okay, so you are like fighting with the creature in your mind, and your body's like kind of head going back and forth as though there's actually like punches being thrown at either side of your head. And the orcs and humans are just kind of still staring at you like, what in the world is going on right now? But they're kind of too shaken and injured to actually pick up their weapons and begin fighting. Plus, they don't want to cause the ground to keep rumbling. So they're just kind of sitting there watching in confusion as Doom Guy like seems to be basically just fighting with his own mind and like holding his head in agony. And then you begin to regain a bit of control over yourself, and you have control over the right side of your body. What would you like to do?
Shoot myself in the head.
You're not going to try to go to the volcano like you wanted to?
Oh wait, actually, maybe I can grapple. Just grapple over and over again to the volcano.
The shotgun is in your right hand. You can, yeah, sure. You want to try to grapple towards that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say that the range on the grappling hook is probably too generous, but it's 100 feet. So roll me a dex check to get to the other side of the portcullis.
All right. Another nat 20.
Alright, so you just are like, you know what? I don't need my left side of the body. I got a shotgun, and you just point it at a point outside of the fortress to the south, and just zoom, you like zip forward along the ground. Zoom. And he just like flies along the ground, the left side of his body just kind of like shaking his fist like, I'll get you yet. And meanwhile your right side of the body is just like having a blast, zipping along the ground. And because you got a nat 20, like you don't have any trouble, you just make it the entire 100 feet, and you're just zipping through. None of the orcs that you just flew past even really know what just happened. Just know it just went past him. And you land on the ground again. Your left foot is just kind of upset, and it just stops working, and you just fall over on your side, but you can try again if you'd like to keep on going.
Wait, like walk normally, or?
Like you can, no, your left foot just stops working, and like it stops supporting any weight, and you just fall over on your left side. So you can still shoot your grappling hook, but you're on the ground.
Yeah, I'll still shoot it.
Go for it.
Alright. Did nat 19 work?
Yep, sure. So you shoot again, and you begin zipping across the grassy field towards the south. And let's just, to speed things up, let's just have you roll 3 more dex checks.
Alright.
Just because he can.
And roll me another wisdom save, too.
Sheesh.
Wisdom save. Alright. Wisdom is 20.
Okay, nice.
First dex, wait, a dex check, or?
Yeah, just 3, well, the same kind of checks that you've been doing for the grappling hook.
I forgot to add the modifier for those, oh my goodness.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
with nat 20s, you don't need to, but...
You say? Alright, hopefully good RNG's on my side. Alright. First dex, 21.
Oh my gosh, okay, nice.
Second dex, 17.
Okay.
Third, another nat 20.
Oh my gosh, why?
I'm asking myself the same question.
You have the most nat 20s in this campaign than anyone else. I don't know how this happens. So...
This roller is rigged.
So you managed to keep full control over your, at least the right side of your body as you're doing this, even though the voice in your mind is like screaming at you and hissing at you, like, stop it, I want to kill those orcs and people and stuff. But you're like, no, I got a different plan, let's go this way. And you keep going across the entire landscape, shooting your grappling hook at mountains and pulling yourself up them, shooting it along the path on the top of the mountain, like the wall that extends along the entire spine of the mountains. And you just keep going, and this elemental corruption can't do anything. He's like trying to grab the shotgun out of your hand, but you're just keeping it out of his reach. You keep grappling all the way to the mountain, and because you're grappling so quickly, you make it there very quickly, and you make it to the volcano, and you basically get to the very top of the volcano, looking out across the entire island, and the corruption is just kind of like slapping you in the face with your left hand, and you're still at 1 HP, but you're still somehow able to live. What would you like to do?
Am I at the volcano, or?
You're on top of the mountain of Veridad, like the very top of the volcano. There's a crater that goes down through the very center of the volcano, all the way down to the lava far, far below.
Just flop into it.
Just flop into it. Okay.
Yeah.
The corruption is going to try to start, like, oozing its way out of your skin again, because it knows what's up. It's like, this is not a good plan, and it's trying to begin ooze out of you.
Actually, let me take that back. Grapple onto the side of the wall of the volcano, and then just fly into it, land, smash straight into the wall, fall into the lava.
Roll me one more dex check.
Alright. 19.
19, okay. Yep, so you grapple one final time into the side of the volcano, or the inside of the crater of the volcano, slam into the wall at full force, and you take 1 bludgeoning damage, and you're now at 0 HP. And as you're beginning to pass out, you fall straight down head first into the volcano, with the creatures trying its best to get out of you, like trying to ooze its way out of your body, but failing miserably to get out in time, as you fall straight into the lava and hit it with a mighty slap of your body, like slamming into molten rock. The lava goes everywhere, and it just begins erupting, and that's the last thing you're really aware of, because you're dead now. You're very dead. You are gone. Respawn back in the 9 hells, or wherever it is that Doom Guy respawns. And that is the end of that elemental corruption. Meanwhile, let's go back to the boat. So the rumbling got worse, or it got really, really bad. Then it got a little bit better again. Then it got worse again, and then it started to get better, and things stopped happening, and you're like, huh, I wonder if it's safe now, maybe? And then, hang on just a second, I need to check one other thing. Let me see. Doot. Yes, many doots. Doot?
Yes.
Yes, doot, indubitably. Okay.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. All right, and with that, as things suddenly get, or as things finally settle down and the rumbling begins to reduce down to the smallest amount of rumbling that you've seen in a while, are you guys still in the dock area, like tied to the dock, or are you? Yeah, you're in the dock, or you're in the boat, but are you in? Are you guys still like tied with a rope to the dock, or are you like free?
No.
What
We
would you do?
untied the once the rumbling started getting worse.
Okay, is the wooden plank that like goes from the dock to the boat still
The
attached, or
gangplank?
did you? Yeah, did you remove that, or is that still attached?
I removed it.
Okay. Did you not care if you saved any of the other humans or anything, or?
No, every turtle for himself.
uh, so what would you guys like to do as things begin to settle down and the rumbling kind of goes to a reasonable level of like not rumbling anymore? You can see in the distance that there are some humans that were like so shaken they could barely move, like legs in pain and like not functioning anymore, and they're just like shook and like, why? Okay, wow, starting to get to their feet.
I'd
I
like
say we leave them be.
Wow.
no Jib.
Oh,
Jibby
also
doesn't
in
wanna
the
leave.
very far distance, then like a minute or two later, you just see like lava shooting out of the volcano, more lava than you've ever seen before, and just like a river of death and destruction blasting out of the top of the mountain, and ash and smoke rising from it.
Jib Jibby says, "Well, I was going to go back to land. Like it's not even be there by the time I even swim across."
You wanted to do what?
He was going to want to swim back to his home, but he thought better because of the lava.
Yeah, so there's like just mountains of lava just raining down across the entire island at this point.
I mean, it's not as if you. I mean, you don't have a wife to go back to anymore, so. And then a dad.
Wow.
Oh, wow. He is hard there.
That's very harsh. So are you guys just beginning to like sail away, or just kind of free from? Are you gonna relax in the dock, or
I'm probably gonna be trying to get the people.
you're gonna get out of the boat and go back to the land and help the people?
No, be the thing. I mean, we have a boat that can hold 20 people. There are like 4 people in here.
All right. So you're in the boat. And what would you like your plan to be? Like once the rumbling fully kind of relaxes back down to basically nothing, what would you like to do? What would you like your actions to be?
I guess I'll try to talk them into helping the people out.
Okie doke.
Because there's a bunch of lava
Alright,
coming.
sir, this boat isn't filled enough.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
This boat is too empty. Let's fill it up a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your plan?
The plan would be to. My plan was to get people on the
Just people.
shore. Huh?
Okay.
And bring as many as we could onto the boat so that they wouldn't be killed by the lava.
I actually want to look for what's his name? Charles Goodshow.
Mm-hmm. Roll perception, all of you.
Roll perception.
Oh no, I forgot about Good Show.
Yeah, I know, but he's my one of my vengeance vendettas. So yeah. Perception.
Alright, crit fail.
Ooh,
Yikes.
You crit failed?
13 total.
Well, it makes sense because Glampario's deaf. You got a 13.
And -2.
-2. Okay, so Jebby, you barely
I'm
hear.
sorry.
What?
No, my perception roll is a 15. I was talking about my modifier.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So, Guy Dude and Jebby, you hear the faintest little voice on the wind of Charles Goodshow shouting, "You can't hold me back forever! I am Charles Goodshow!" And you hear, or like you see a flash of light in the distance as though Charles Goodshow is like casting spells and doing something crazy, and the rumbling begins again.
Yikes.
Do I recognize that light as his shrinking ability? Because I was there sometimes.
No, it is not the shrinking ability. He's using some other spell, like a combat spell. It looks like flames, basically.
All right, so I'd like to try to make my way over as quickly as possible.
Likewise.
Uh,
Because I think even I can see a giant flash in the sky.
it was not a flash in the sky. It was just a flash, like, from the other side of the healing vapors cloud.
Oh.
And while
like,
we're going
right by
through the vapors, do we get healed?
Yes, you for every turn you're in the vapors, you get healed for like 3 HP or something.
Okay.
And you guys were actually in the vapors for 1 turn before, so I'll just say that Guy Dude, you got healed for 6 more, and Jebby, you got healed for 3 more before as well. I forgot to mention it. And so you guys are gonna park the boat again and go back onto land. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. Actually, I want to take one of those. If the boat has a dinghy.
The boat is not quite big enough for that.
Oh,
It's
okay, well,
basically like
I don't want us to get the boat near the island, so
Yeah.
I'll just jump into the water and swim. I mean, they could always throw a rope for get
Okay.
back up.
How far away from the shore is the boat? And yeah, and when you guys jump in the water, or who is jumping in the water and doing this?
I'm jumping. What about you guys?
My plan was not to jump in the water.
Your plan was not to jump in the water?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
We were still
I'm just gonna-
basically on the...
I'm just gonna maneuver the boat over to where Charles is.
but he's
You
inland.
can't maneuver the boat to where Charles Goodshow is, because Charles Goodshow is basically in the center of this fortification area, and it's landlocked. The closest you could get would be just parking it back in the dock if you wanted to do that, but I wouldn't
Yeah, let me do that.
recommend it. Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to just jump into the water.
I would recommend not doing that. But okay.
Okay.
You can do what you guys want to do.
Okay, so he parks the boat. I'd like to make my way over to Charles Goodshow after the boat is parked.
Okay, so the rumbling is getting stronger again, stronger and stronger the longer you guys start walking back towards where Charles Goodshow is.
I'm not walking, I'm running.
Okay, you're running towards where Charles Goodshow is.
Yes.
It'll take you 2 to 3 turns to get there, unless you want to dash.
Dashing, yeah.
Okay, so it'll take you 2 turns to get there. On your first turn, the rumbling has returned to a mid-level of rumbling, the kind of rumbling that you were used to back in your childhood and everything was fine. On the next round, it gets to the point where it's like at risk of knocking you over again, and you are close to dying. Or close to falling off, at least, or falling over, not dying or falling off. I don't know. I'm stupid. So yeah, roll me a dex check for the second one.
Alright. Does 14 count?
Yeah, that's fine. So as you emerge through the cloud of healing vapors, you heal for 2 more, or 3 or 6 more HP. So 2 rounds more of 3 each.
Alright.
And the cloud of vapors kind of begins to dissipate at this point as well. And now, as you come through the... Or, by the way, is everyone else coming with you too, or is it just him?
I was gonna go try to help people. That was my plan.
Okay, so where are you going?
I don't know, where were the people? Didn't I see people?
Yeah, there's people basically everywhere.
Oh, so I'm
All over
gonna
the place.
try to get as many of them as can get up.
Okay.
Head towards the boat.
Yeah, sure. So just roll me persuasion to talk to them and try to say, hey, get in the boat instead of being here.
Okie dokie, what is my persuasion? Ooh, I have a positive modifier for once.
Whoa.
Wow, 8.
8, okay. So what do you say to these guys precisely?
hey, I think that lava's gonna come here, and that's probably gonna burn you to death. So we have a boat.
What?
Come get on the boat.
That's miles away though. That's probably not going to bother us, is it?
Well, better safe than sorry.
I think I'll be fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the orcs than the lava at this point. Thanks though.
So
Yeah, so they're not really convinced at this point. Glamporia, what are you doing?
I'm sitting on the boat, still drinking a cold one.
Alright. So, Jebjebby, roll me perception as you come through the... Or, like, you emerge from the clouds and everything.
19.
Okay, yeah, so as you come through the clouds and you come back into the clearing, you see that basically around you, every building, every wall, everything that was around has just collapsed, and it's just a bunch of rocks and rubble all over the place. There's basically no stone that's connected to another stone anymore, and it's just a mess. The top of the Pantheon type building, the big slab of marble that used to be a floor, the top floor of the keep, has been rotated, and it's now facing you, and you can see that there's like a weird rune circle on it with lots of symbols on it. But it's like cracked in many places and looks kind of worse for wear. And beside that, you can see Charles Goodshow, like throwing different items that he has that seem to be growing as he throws them out of his pocket. He's got like a couple random trees. He's got like flower pots that just grow like 2 sizes as he's throwing them out of his pockets and stuff. And he's just like bashing orcs and humans in the head alike, and anyone who tries to get near him, he's just bashing in the head. The goblin is still trying to wrestle him into submission, but Charles Goodshow is just not having it. He's just trying to get closer to the Pool of Wisdom again. And the humans and orcs have begun fighting each other again. Charles Goodshow. Okay. Charles Goodshow finally manages to break free from the grasp of the goblin, and he runs towards the Eye of Truth to put his hands on it. And
Can I
Jebjebby,
get
what would you
there
like to
in
do?
time to tackle him?
Yeah, roll me... Okay, so let me just go ahead and roll initiative so we can figure this out. Jebjebby, roll initiative.
My initiative is nat 20.
Nat 20, okay, nice. So yeah, you definitely get to go first. You can see that he's running towards the Eye of Truth with his hands outstretched.
Alright, I'd like to tackle him.
Okay. Roll just straight strength.
Straight strength is a 13. Do it.
A what?
13.
Yep, that hits. So you tackle him to the ground and just like pin him there, and he's like, "Ah, you again! Will you leave me alone?" And an orc is nearby, and he tries to step forward and swing a great axe at your head, Jebjebby. Let me have him roll for that real quick. Ah, I can't roll. I've got too many dice. Oh, wow, he misses badly. It goes right above your head and slams into the rocky outside part of the Pool of Wisdom and just clinks off. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Okay. First, as I'm grappling, so I'm going to grapple Charles Goodshow. What do I need to roll for that?
I did that as the strength
Oh, you
roll.
did that.
I basically just said that you were attacking and grappling in the same thing.
So while I'm grappling him, I'm going to say...
Technically, that should have been your turn, actually, so he should get a turn first. But yeah, you go ahead and finish what you were going to say, and then we'll figure out what happens.
So I tell the orc, we've got to stop this, man, otherwise we all...
And Charles Goodshow's just like, "What are you talking about? I just want to get a new Pokemon specimen. It's for research. It'll help many people."
It will not help anyone. You'll kill everyone on the...
Yeah, so I can help more people in the future. It'll be worth it, trust me. And the orc...
You hear this? I tell the orc.
So you're trying to convince the orc?
Yeah, I'm trying to convince the orc to help me.
Okay, the orc is just kind of confused and not really hearing what's happening, but roll persuasion anyway.
Ooh, this better be a good one because I got my this week. 16.
The orc definitely stops and is like, what? And just kind of like holds his weapon there at the ready, and he's like, what are you talking about?
This man here has a spell that will shrink this entire island. If you don't stop him, everyone gets sunk into the sea.
The orc just seems kind of baffled, like not able to believe what he's hearing and not even comprehending the concept of what's happening. Meanwhile, the goblin is just like kind of stepping off, and he's just like, you know, I don't care what happens anymore. But you know, actually no. So he's like, the goblin is trying to decide what to do. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And there are still humans and orcs fighting, like, in the general area, so this orc is kind of, like, on edge, not really wanting to be just staying there. He's, like, thinking this is a trick or something. But he's not attacking you at this point.
Okay.
Charles Goodshow is going to attempt to get free of the grapple.
So strength versus strength?
Yep.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, well, yeah, he doesn't get out then. So he kind of struggles, and he's like, you can't hold Charles Goodshow! I am the king, rightfully, of this land! And one of the nearby humans is like,
king of
what?
any land. I'd like to try to shove a sock in his mouth.
Where are you going to pull a sock from? Your own sock?
Yes.
You're going to have to take off your shoe and your sock and then do that while still grappling him. Roll me dex.
3 dex?
No, just roll 1 dex for all that.
How does an 18 sound?
Fine. So you yank off your shoe and your sock, and you just shove your sock in his mouth, and he goes, okay. The orc is still just like, you're crazy.
I'd like to tell the orc one more time. I need your help to bind this man. We can't let him go free. Do you want your brethren to die too?
Alright, roll me persuasion.
Please give me a high number. Minus 13.
The orc is just like, he just shakes his head and he pulls out his weapon and he's just like, I'm just gonna stab this guy. He doesn't say that. He's just like, I'm just gonna chop them. Why not? That'll solve the problem if we need to bind this guy or whatever. So he just swings his great axe down on, like, because you're on top of Charles Goodshow grappling him. He basically just swings it down so it would hit you, but if you moved out of the way, it would hit him instead, Charles Goodshow instead, and the orc doesn't really care who he hits. He's just trying to hit you both. So, yeah, let me just roll and see what happens. Does a 10 break your armor class?
No.
Okay.
Far from it.
I actually don't have Charles Goodshow's armor class still, so we don't know if it hits him
He's
either.
He's wearing leather armor, so he has 13.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, the orc just swings down at both of you, and I assume both of you just kind of dodge out of the way. Which way do you dodge?
I dodge towards the orc, giving him less room to swing.
Well, I mean, like, left or right. Which side do you dodge to? Because he's...
I don't know which way he is.
He is directly ahead of you.
Oh, okay. So I'd like to roll away from the Eye of Truth.
Mm-hmm. And there's only, like, a foot or two of distance between Charles Goodshow and the Eye of Truth. So he tries to roll the other way. Or...
Can I try rolling several times?
Yeah, you can roll multiple times if you'd like. Just to... go farther.
So what do I have to do?
I'll just say you roll multiple times and you get farther away. I don't know. I already forgot the initiatives that you had. What did you have as your initiative? Oh, you were first, then Charles 20.
Yeah.
Or Charles Good Show, or whatever. Okay, so
Write this
it's your
down.
turn. I'll say Charles Goodshow is on the side where the Eye of Truth is. He's like a foot away from it, and you're
I
on
thought
the
I
other
rolled
side.
away from it, though.
He rolled the other way. You both.
Oh, I'm
dodged
trying
it.
to stay grappled to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh well, it's too late. The dice have
Okay.
spoken.
Well, then I'd like to take my sword out and actually attack Charles Goodshow. I'm going to aim for the mid of his body.
Okay. Roll to hit.
How does 14 hits?
Yep, probably. We'll assume
And
based on the knowledge we have.
How does a 15 sound?
For damage? Wow. That's impressive.
Yep.
Yep, so whatever max health he has is now 15 less. So I'll just say that. So yeah, you chop Charles Goodshow directly in the stomach and wound him extremely, and he's like, "Ah! How dare you!" And he kind of like steps one step back, so he's like kind of behind the orc. So but the orc is between you and him. And now it's Charles Goodshow's turn. He's just gonna put a hand on the Eye of Truth that's like right beside him, and he's gonna cast the spell that you knew what he was gonna cast.
Oh no.
So
Charles, don't!
and then he casts the spell with his hand touching the Eye of Truth, and enormous sheets of bedrock begin like cracking across the ground. Like giant fissures form in the earth all throughout the land, and you just hear the most earth-shattering boom and rumble that you've ever felt as you see the turtle, the Eye of Truth. Or actually, no, this is the Pool of Wisdom, my bad. So it kind of like shrinks away inside the dome of natural rock that you see on the outside of it. So like the exterior part of the rock is remaining where it was. Meanwhile, the turtle itself underneath is shrinking away. So the turtle is shrinking, meanwhile the outer layers of stone and dirt and rock and whatever are remaining where they were, as well as the buildings and stuff around. But with nothing to support them underneath anymore, the entire island begins to just collapse and fall apart into giant like rocks and rubble that just begin collapsing. And this happens very quickly, like the island just, or the turtle begins shrinking away to 1/8 its size while Charles Goodshow is doing this. Roll me a dex save, Ray. And everyone else who's on the island. So, Guy Dude 2.
21.
21? Okay.
21.
Yeah, so you managed to keep your footing, and you have very limited time if you'd like to try to run across the collapsing landscape, or do anything, because like the entire like island that you're on, the entire sheet of rock just begins like falling and collapsing into nothingness, falling down who knows how far. So if you'd like to run or go anywhere, now would be the time.
I'm running towards Goodshow, and I'd like to attack.
You'd like to attack Goodshow?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So you run over to Goodshow and you try to stab him again. Meanwhile, all the other humans and orcs are just like, oh no, what's happening? What the? And it's like 2 seconds of not knowing what to do and panic as you're doing this. Roll to hit.
Alright. A 17 hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
And then a d10. I'd like to use my Savage Strike, which allows me to reroll my damage and take the higher. Okay, so that's a 15 damage.
Nice. I will say that that probably is enough to just... where were you aiming this time?
I'm aiming it right between his neck and shoulder.
Youch. Okay, I'll say that that probably just like cleaves him into down to like his stomach area, and he still has one hand on the well, the Eye of Truth or the Pool of Wisdom just kind of shrinks away from him at that point. Like zoom, it goes away, but he had his hand still outstretched there, and he just kind of looks like, ah, what? And he just like splits in half and kind of collapses as the entire island begins like shattering into pieces and collapsing inward. Guy dude, what are you doing? The ground is like collapsing inward. You're probably about 40 feet away from the boat at this point.
I'm going to try to dash to the boat.
Sounds like a plan. Roll me a dex.
Okay, 4.
Oh. So
Lovely.
you struggle a little bit. You trip and like slide on your face and kind of reach the edge of the dock, but you don't make it to the boat. The boat is... How close is the boat, Glampario? You can decide because you're in command of the boat right now.
I don't know. I guess like by now, since combat started again, I've gotten like 2-3 meters away from the dock.
So you see a guy who just kind of slide to the edge of the water and like come to a stop, wondering why he's so bad at life. And he's probably like 15 feet away from you or something. So now we go back to Jebjebi, who is talking. So, guy dude, what do you want to do now?
I'm gonna ask for a rope from
Okay.
Glampario. I'm gonna call it.
Silk rope.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You gonna toss it?
Yep.
Okay, roll dex.
You just switch characters.
Mhm.
And
I was
press.
hoping to save the island too.
Yeah, would have been great.
Yeah.
There honestly could have been like 2 or 3 ways to like have a happy ending, but it was unlikely because of the number of creatures that were like trying to ruin everything.
17.
17. Yeah, so you throw the rope directly to Guy Dude and roll strength to start pulling.
Hmm?
6.
Roll strength. Up there you go.
6?
Yeah.
So you start pulling him.
Pulls you instead.
All you do, all you do is you just pull him into the water, and he goes plump. And so he's in the water now, and you're kind of pulling him closer, but it's taking a long time. Meanwhile, Jebjebi, the island is like completely collapsing around you. Like there is no support for the ground anymore. It's just like enormous sheets of bedrock are just collapsing and like breaking inward. You're standing in an area where the rock was kind of flat, and it's just kind of shattering with a giant crack below you, and you can see now downward into what looks like just an empty abyss of blackness, and it's like a giant pit that you're falling into. And the body of Charles Goodshow is beside you, like blood all over it and eyes that just seem confused, and he's just like, Charles Goodshow, as he's beginning to fall as well, along with many humans and orcs that are just kind of like, what's going on? And all of the rubble, all of the trees and wildlife, the remains of the buildings around here. Hold on, let me plug in my computer. It's dying.
Debbie, can you do me a favor and administer the thing I sent in chat to Goodshow?
Do what?
What I sent in chat.
Bard beat down. Oh my lord!
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Poor guy. So yeah, you just are falling into this endless abyss with all the rubble and all the junk and all the ridiculousness. As the island turtle lets out a mighty surprised roar that slowly like up pitches as it goes, so it's like and the island has definitely awakened, but it's kind of too late. So all of the, like, basically the entire island itself is like breaking apart like a bunch of tectonic plates and falling inward, collapsing, imploding, and the entire island is just falling into an empty shell of what once was the support mechanism for the island, but now is just nothing. And from the outside perspective of the people on the boat, all you see is just the entire island just collapse inward, and the volcano in the very distance just kind of falls and shrinks and goes down into nothingness. And I'd
like to do something before you end all that.
Okay.
So as it's collapsing around me, I take Charles Goodshow, and I'm taking us both down by pushing my feet against a rebel that's going downwards also. And as I'm going down, I say, "It's time for self-unification!" And I yell it so loud it reverberates across.
Throughout the entire, like, giant, miles-wide, empty chamber that no longer has a giant turtle in it.
And it should be loud enough for everyone to hear.
Yeah, everyone who's falling just is kind of like, what? Is this what hell is? What is this? And they're just terrified as they're falling to their deaths. And Jebby, you definitely die. Yeah, there's no way to get out of that. There's nothing you can roll.
I wasn't trying to get out of it. I was trying to bring Charles with me down.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm probably not going to bother describing it from your perspective as you hit the ground and like have giant boulders land upon you. But what you guys see from the boat, Guy Dude and Glampario, is you see the entire island just like it was an island coming out of the water, like kind of a shell kind of thing, like an overturned bowl, if that makes sense, coming out of the water. Now it just becomes a literal bowl, and it just cracks inward, and it becomes a empty spot where the water is not, and the water begins crashing inward like giant tidal waves from every direction begin coming inward towards the center of where the island once was, but it's now completely collapsed down into the bottom of the depths. And the water begins rushing forward, carrying you with it, and you're kind of on the very edge of a giant tidal wave that's slamming down into this giant bowl for where an island once was, as all of the horrible rumbling and crashing of an entire island with cultures and histories and cities and people all get collapsed inward and washed away. And what would you guys like to do as you're basically now surfing a giant wave of doom?
Well,
Welp, that's a good way to put it.
oh no.
Pull a Jason and the Argonauts and try to get out of there.
Yeah. I guess that's the plan there. Try to get out.
I haven't actually heard of that. What's that?
You've never heard of Jason and the Argonauts?
Well, I kind of know what it is, but I don't. I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't know what it actually is.
I would have to explain it after stream for you.
Oh, okay.
It's a Greek myth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's an epic. Everyone dies except for one.
So yeah, I don't have much more to say on that front. So you're surfing a giant wave. Is there anything you'd like to try to do to keep yourselves alive? The boat is just on the surface of it, but the water is just like becoming, instead of a flat surface that you were on, it's becoming like an incline going down deeper and deeper into the water, or into the empty space, and going faster and faster, almost like you're about to go over a waterfall.
Wait, am I still on the boat?
You're still on the boat. Guy Dude is not. Guy Dude's actually kind of being pulled by the current farther and farther away and harder. So you might want to try to pull him in.
Am I safe though?
Yeah, you're safe, and Guy Dude is on the end of the rope, so you could probably try to pull him in if you want to keep him alive.
He's just going.
Yes, please.
Roll strength.
Yes, please. I'm pulling this man to safety. Nat 20 for strength.
Didn't even roll it. Just hit. Please give me a nat 20.
Yeah, I just clicked in it. Nice.
Okay. So yeah, you just yank Guy Dude, pulling against the entire like forces of nature that are trying to yank him away from you, and you pull Guy Dude into the boat, just as your boat slams into the other waves that are collapsing from all directions at like Mach 1, and it becomes a giant geyser. Like all the waves encounter in the same spot in the center of where the island once was, above where the volcano was once was, and it forms a giant geyser that sends you and your entire boat just like flying into the air, as all of the water is very volatile and splashing around and probably causing tidal waves that'll impact other nations far, far away across the ocean. And the island ceases to exist, and the water begins to calm down and become, well, just a normal surface again as you're flying through the air. It takes a while for the water to calm down and become a smooth surface again, but once it does settle down, there's no trace that the island was ever there, except for like some floating bowls and broken logs and things like that. But there's not very much of a trace that there once was an island here. But yeah, you guys are flying in the air right now. What would you like to do as you're watching yourselves fly probably like 100 or 200 feet in the air, above the ocean? Your boat kind of like above you guys.
What even is there to do in this scenario?
Not much. You could direct your feet downward instead of your face if you'd like. That's about it.
I
guess.
In physics, if you jump just as you land, or just right before you land, you can avoid your body from breaking up into tiny pieces.
Mm-hmm. But I can't avoid the ship breaking up into tiny pieces.
No, the ship cannot avoid it.
Yeah, you guys are in a bit of a bad situation. It's like the Moses parting the Red Seas. That's what's basically just happened. All the water just and sent you flying into the stratosphere.
I'm just gonna do whatever I can to survive. Like, what actions are there? Like,
to go into your shell.
All right. Like,
become a cannonball.
Can I like do that? Can I do that physics thing where I can jump before I land or something?
That's video game physics. I don't know what Ray means exactly.
I don't know.
No, that's not video game physics. That's real life physics.
What do you mean jump before you land? What does that mean?
When the object you're standing on lands, you and that object all start crushing down due to physics. But if you jump just before your ship lands, just before, like, you have to time it perfectly. The ship will break apart, but you won't shatter yourself. You'll probably take damage, but...
Oh, I see what you're saying. So if the boat was actually still below them. But the ship is, like, when the water kind of splooshed, it sent the boat flying, and now it's above them. That's the problem. They're upside down.
Above them. Oh, yeah, well, you're screwed.
They've kind of fallen out of the boat at this point, so...
Yeah, I'm hiding in my shell.
Yeah.
I'm just praying, I guess.
Yeah.
Dravis is just kind of clinging to the boat like, oh boy, as he's still upside down.
Pray
and
to your goddess or
I don't
god.
even know where Chiron is.
My turtle feature, drop prone, gain 4/8 armor class.
Yep, alright, cool. So now it's just a matter of, can you guys survive? Everyone roll me a con save.
Can a dead guy do it? Just kidding.
No, you are very much dead. Very much dead.
Con save.
You are the deadest character that has ever deaded.
Even more so than Malik Alucard?
Is it Constitution?
Yeah, Constitution.
Cool. 20. Dirty 20.
Nice. I was actually going to have you guys like roll one of every single save that there was for if you guys were standing on the island or like right on the edge of the island when this happened, but since you were in the boat, you got lucky. Hey Nicole, welcome to the stream. It's almost over. Sorry.
Wait, sorry, what do I roll to not die?
Constitution.
Alright. Nat 20.
Nice. Okay, well, of course you did. Why wouldn't you? You survived everything, so...
Yeah. I'm getting a new dice roller next campaign.
Are you using the wizard one?
Yeah.
I found out there is actually a Discord bot that does rolls for D&D. We could use that.
That's interesting.
Alright.
What'd you get, Mac?
Dirty 20.
Oh yeah, I forgot, sorry. Okay, so yeah, you both are fine, apparently. So you fall into the water. You manage to put your legs out, feet first, maybe throw a shoe below you to break up the surface of the water first. But you guys just happen to, like, because the water's so volatile, you happen to land right as the water's, like, displacing itself. So it absorbs a lot of the impact as you're falling into the water. And you fall into the water, and it's very... like there's lots of currents kind of like sucking you down and up and left and right and moving you all around, making you very disoriented, and you go very deep into the water as you impact because it's absorbing all of your speed, but you do come to a stop and you're underwater now, and you're able to swim back up to the surface as pieces of your boat rain down upon the surface above you. So just roll me strength to get back up to the surface, and you guys will have lived through a very deadly event.
5.
Total 19.
Yikes. 11.
You're still fine, Mac. It'll just take you 2 turns to get up to the top instead. Roll me strength again, and it's not even worth doing it because you'll make it to the top eventually before you run out of breath, because it takes forever to drown in D&D, according to Ray. So yeah, you guys make it to the surface.
According to me.
I haven't actually looked at the drowning rules myself, so. But yeah, you guys make it to the surface again, and you find Dravis with you as well. Chiron is nowhere to be seen. Nobody knows where he went. But you 3 are still alive, and now you're in the middle of an ocean with no idea what to do, and very little supplies, except a silk rope. And there's like debris and like logs and planks and random other wooden pieces of debris that are floating around, if you'd like to grab onto those and try to paddle your way somewhere. But
so basically how drowning works is it's 1 plus the constitution modifier, and once they reach that, they have their constitution modifier until they die.
Well, with that, we're gonna end the campaign. So that's the predicament you guys are in. You can decide if you've made it out somewhere or if you didn't make it out. It's up to you guys. But that's where the campaign ends. It wasn't even supposed to be a campaign. It was just supposed to be like a 3-shot, and then everything went wrong. So, hope you guys
I'm expecting
liked it.
credits to roll.
Credits to roll, yeah. D&D Telltale campaign. The choices you make
should have
completely
totally
ruin the
done
story. Yeah, but that is the end. Woo.
Woo.
What'd you guys think?
Jimmy is deader than dead.
Yeah.
Deader than dead could be. I'll answer any questions now, by the way, if you guys want, like, to ask any questions about what happened behind the scenes and stuff, because there was a lot of stuff I had to keep track of, like who was spreading the plague to who, how long it took to kill them, what percentages of people died, what the enemies were doing while you weren't with them, and all sorts of other stuff. So, yeah, if you have any questions of things that happened, let me know, and I will answer whatever.
First of all, now what do we do every Saturday?
Well, I am definitely not going to start another campaign immediately after that, because I have got too much going on in my life right now, and
get a one-shot.
I do actually. Yeah. I'm next Saturday. I'm probably gonna do a one-shot. I don't know if it'll be specifically at the same time, but it'll be around the same time. I'm gonna do a one-shot next week, and I'm gonna let any random viewers that want to join. So shout out to the viewers if anyone wants to join. I'll just do some sort of one-shot, and Ray can level up his Minotaur if he wants, or other characters. We can still do D&D stuff, but I'm not going to start another campaign for a little while. I do have a cool idea for one, and I'm excited about that, but I want to make sure I prepare it adequately before we do it, because this campaign was not prepared ever throughout the entire thing. Was not prepared enough at any point, so...
And also, when you do the one-shots, you don't have to make up anything else.
Don't have to make up what?
You don't have to make up your own one-shot. There's plenty.
That's true.
Like, I'm doing the Wolves of Welton for DMing on Wednesdays.
Cool. So did anyone have any questions or ideas or anything you wanted to know about anything? Like I said, this campaign was originally supposed to be just like 3 sessions of, oh, you linear quest, you made it to an island, what's going on? You find out the secret of the island, okay, cool, and stuff like that, and it was supposed to be really quick. But then Malika the card messed up everything because nobody showed up for the second session, and then it turned from a 3-shot into a 20-shot. So
If somebody showed up for the second,
yeah,
done that.
it was a mess. Fun times though. And we can discuss in the chat when we'd like to do more D&D stuff, or another session, or more one-shots, or whatever.
Coolio. Well, I'm going to go get some supper. I'm sure my grandfather's hungry, and I know.
Alright, nobody wants to know about my, like, 75 pages of notes? That's fine, I'll just...
I'd be down to do that.
Well, we can always ask.
Yeah, true, I just wanted to have it on the stream, like, if there was anything that any viewers were questioning too.
Well, I'm going. Catch you.
Alright, see you, Ray.
See you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mac?
I think it'd be cool if you put all your notes on like a Google Doc or something, and we could just browse through them.
I actually thought about like taking this campaign and like turning it into a module that other people could run, like write down all the stats and all the notes and all the character motivations and what they were doing and why, and like lay out a timeline of when things would happen and stuff, and then the players could, or like any other DM could just take my like huge packet of notes and use it if they wanted to run this same campaign. But then I was like, you know what? That's a lot of work. So plus like the amount of things that I had to change based on what you guys did was really insane. So I would have to make it like, it would be like a branching tree pattern, like, oh, if the players choose to do this, then do this. If the players choose to do that, then do that. And it would be so much information that it wouldn't even fit in a book. So that's why, like, I don't know if I want to do that. But there was a lot of stuff in this campaign to keep track of and stuff. So, in fact, you guys missed probably like 4 or 5 different quest lines that I didn't even, like, that they're just wasted. It's gone. It's fun though.
This campaign did seem to like change on a dime.
Indeed.
What do you mean? Like at what part?
I don't remember, but I just remember we were doing like, I can't remember. We were like set on a quest, and then all of a sudden we were doing something completely different.
Oh yeah, was it? Are you talking about like when you were in the fight with the humans and the orcs, and then suddenly the Kenku out of nowhere?
Well, there was that, and then there was like, okay, now we're doing this thing. Oh, now we're in the city doing a murder mystery.
Oh yeah, well that's because of what Ray chose to do. I didn't like orchestrate that or anything. Ray just wanted to track down Banana.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we were making things change.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want to in D&D. That's part of the fun of it. Unless your DM is like, oh, you have to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I find it amazing in how quickly everything escalated. Like before, like you said, it became like, it was originally like a quest thing, and then it got to like a fight, like a giant fight the size of like ever seen the first Narnia movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Long
some
time
of the size of that, and then once the island got destroyed, it turned into Uncharted all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
This one.
yeah, so do you guys like D&D? I know this is probably Jack and Max, well, both of you, for your first experience with it. Dungeons & Dragons in general.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yay.
Yeah, it
I
is
hope I
fun.
did a good job. I tried my best, but like I said, when I started DMing like this campaign, I knew nothing. I didn't know the rules of the Dungeons & Dragons or anything, and I've had to make it up the whole time. So I've done my best to keep it with the rules and make it fun.
Yeah.
You did it good.
Yay, thanks.
That was real fun.
Yay.
I enjoyed it.
And if you want to, you can carry your character to a new campaign, or you can make a new character for another campaign. It's whatever. But I do have a cool idea for the next campaign, so whenever we feel like starting the next one, hopefully it'll be an interesting experience too. Maybe not meeting on the same day though, or the same time, because my family's always yelling at me for starting at 5:30 during which is supposed to be our dinner time apparently. But even though we never eat dinner at that time, but they always yelled at me for starting at that time. So.
Okay.
That's irrelevant information. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Anything else you want to know about the campaign for now, or should I end the stream? And we can always keep talking after.
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay.
Anything.
Well, thanks for watching this campaign and for sticking through to the end. If there's any viewers, even I don't know if there are, but and thanks for joining in the campaign. It was fun. But with that, I'm gonna close the book on this chapter of this campaign of this world or whatever. Bye. Just the of defeat.